Alright, what's up guys? In this video I'm just going to go through some basic leg training principles, and if you can just remember these few tips, then you know exactly what part of your leg you're working out. So for instance, the closer together my feet are, the more outer part of my quad I'm going to work, that outer sweep. So the wider my stance, if you want to go something like wider than shoulder width, then the more inner part of my quad and hamstrings I'm going to hit. So you guys got to think about that, your foot position, and how far your feet are forward and how far your feet are backwards. So on the bar, if you're just going shoulder width, this is a pretty neutral, toes slightly pointed outwards. This is a pretty neutral squat stance, okay? This is gonna hit everything, your quads, glutes, hamstrings. But if you want to go for something more quad-like, more focus on your quads, put your legs together. You can do that. I'd also recommend just doing front squats. If you really want to hit your quads, then have a little bit closer of a stance. You're gonna put the bar on the front of your chest like this, and do front squats if you want to hit your quads more than you want to hit your hamstrings. So another thing you got to be aware of is how far you have your feet forward and how far you have your feet backwards. If I'm just in a regular, my feet are very far forward. When I'm squatting, I'm going to be using more glutes and more hamstrings. If my feet are further back, I'm going to be using more quads. So this is something you got to think about. The same thing works for leg press. Any pressing movement, you can use a Smith machine, that's the guided machine, instead of a free weight squat rack like this. But any pressing movement is the same exact idea. On the leg press where you sit down, you're pressing, all those guys like to rack up all those weights, like 1045s on each side, because that's a lot easier than doing regular squats. It makes them feel good. But for that machine, same thing. If you have your feet higher up on the board, you're gonna be working more glutes and hamstrings. If you put your feet lower on the board, you're gonna be working more quads. Closer works your outer quads. Farther your feet are, works your inner quads. So just think about your foot placement when you're squatting, and make sure to always squat through your heels. I used to be in the bad habit of it too, and it hurts my knees a lot, but I would squat from my toes. I'd have my weight on the ball of my toes. And it takes a little bit getting used to, but make sure the majority of the weight is all on your heels. So you can almost lift your toes up as you're squatting. You want all the weight right on your heels, and that's how you save your knees. So I hope these tips help, and go give it a shot at the gym. Whatever part of your leg you notice you need work on, you want to get them thicker, thickness that way, thickness this way, then you can just do foot placement and target the exact area. So give it a shot.